In the rolling hills of Robertson County, Tennessee, lies the setting for one of America's most chilling and well-documented hauntings. This isn't just a ghost story whispered around a campfire. It's a terrifying piece of American folklore that has been passed down for over 200 years. A tale so disturbing it even drew the attention of a future president. It's the story of an unseen entity that tormented a family, held a town in its grip, and left a legacy of fear that lingers to this day. This is the legend of the Bell Witch. Our story begins in the early 1800s with the Bell family. Led by patriarch John Bell, they were respectable, hard-working farmers who had settled on a large tract of land along the Red River. John, his wife Lucy, and their children lived a relatively peaceful life, their days filled with the toil of frontier living. They were a typical, God-fearing family of the era, completely unaware of the malevolent force that was about to shatter their simple existence and etch their name into the dark annals of American history. It all started subtly in 1817. John Bell was inspecting his cornfield when he saw a strange animal with the body of a dog and the head of a rabbit. He shot at it, but the creature vanished without a trace. Later that night, the family began hearing bizarre noises from outside the cabin, faint scratching and knocking sounds on the doors and outer walls. At first, they dismissed it as nothing more than the wind or stray animals, a common occurrence on the frontier. But the disturbances didn't stop. The faint knocking grew into a thunderous pounding. The scratching escalated to the sound of chains being dragged across the wooden floors. Inside the house, the family would hear phantom whispers, the sound of someone choking, and a disembodied voice singing hymns. Furniture was overturned. Bed covers were ripped from sleeping family members, and invisible hands would slap and pinch them, leaving welts and bruises. The Bell family was under siege by an unseen poltergeist. The entity's primary target soon became John Bell's youngest daughter, Elizabeth, known as Betsy. She was subjected to the most brutal physical abuse. The spirit would pull her hair, stick her with pins, and beat her relentlessly, leaving her black and blue. Her screams would echo through the house as she was tormented by this invisible assailant. The family was helpless, forced to watch as their beloved daughter suffered at the hands of a force they could neither see nor comprehend. After months of torment, the entity finally began to speak, its voice weak and raspy at first, but growing stronger over time. It identified itself as Kate, the spirit of a woman who claimed John Bell had cheated her in a land deal. Kate's voice would fill the house, engaging in full conversations with the family and their visitors, quoting scripture and gossiping about neighbors. She vowed to torment John Bell and his family, especially Betsy, for the rest of their lives. Word of the haunting spread like wildfire. Neighbors and strangers flocked to the Bell farm, hoping to witness the supernatural phenomena for themselves. Many came as skeptics, but left as believers after hearing Kate's disembodied voice and witnessing her paranormal tricks. The Bell home became a local spectacle, a place of both terror and morbid curiosity. The entire community was captivated and horrified by the spirit that had taken up residence in their quiet corner of Tennessee. The legend even reached a man who would later become the 7th President of the United States, General Andrew Jackson. Intrigued by the stories, Jackson gathered a group of men and traveled to the Bell farm to investigate. On the way, his wagon mysteriously stopped, unable to move. Jackson reportedly exclaimed, "By the eternal, boys, it's the witch." A disembodied voice then announced it would let them pass, and the wagon moved again. Jackson and his men, thoroughly spooked, left the farm the next morning, vowing never to return. As the years passed, the witch's torment focused heavily on John Bell. Kate's voice would relentlessly curse him, mocking his every move. His health began to fail rapidly. He suffered from seizures, facial paralysis, and difficulty swallowing. He described a feeling as if a stick were being forced down his throat. The once strong patriarch was reduced to a frail, bedridden man, his every waking moment a living nightmare at the hands of the vengeful spirit. In December of 1820, John Bell was found unresponsive in his bed. Beside him was a small, mysterious vial containing a dark liquid. As the family gathered, Kate's voice rang out, boasting that she had given John a dose of the poison, finally ending his life. To prove it, she suggested they test the liquid on the family cat. They did, and the cat died almost instantly. John Bell became the only person in American history whose death was officially attributed to a supernatural entity. The witch's presence was felt even at John Bell's funeral. As mourners gathered to pay their respects, a loud, triumphant voice began to sing a jaunty drinking song, disrupting the solemn service. Kate's gleeful celebration over the grave of the man she had tormented to death was a final, horrifying display of her power and cruelty. It was a chilling end to a tragic chapter in the Bell family's life. After John Bell's death, Kate's activity began to subside. She made one final promise. She would return in 7 years. And true to her word, in 1828, she reappeared at the home of John Bell, Jr. for a few weeks before vanishing again, this time vowing to return in 107 years, in 1935. Whether she ever made that final return remains a mystery, but her terrifying legend was now firmly cemented in history. Today, the spirit of the Bell Witch is said to linger in a nearby cave on the former Bell property, now known as the Bell Witch Cave. Visitors from all over the world travel to this eerie spot, hoping for their own supernatural encounter. Many report strange phenomena, disembodied whispers, unexplained electronic malfunctions, and the feeling of being touched by an unseen hand. The cave serves as a permanent, chilling monument to America's greatest haunting. Even now, over 200 years later, the legend of the Bell Witch continues to terrify and fascinate. The story has inspired countless books, films, and documentaries, ensuring that the tale of Kate, the malevolent spirit of Tennessee, will never be forgotten. It serves as a stark reminder that some stories are more than just folklore. They are echoes of real events, carrying a darkness that time cannot erase. If you love diving into the darkest corners of history, you can support the channel by checking out our shop. We've curated a collection of horror gadgets, eerie decor, and dark fashion for fellow fans of the macabre. The link is in the description below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows, please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more stories like this. And now we want to hear from you. Comment with your scariest personal experience. The top comment will be featured in our next video. Real horror, real stories, real life events that actually happened. This is EerieDoseYT.